Let's talk about,
Oh,
yeah, the end of
this
Dreadnok War. Um,
is the
G.I. Joe
end.
17. I love that the first page is not a splash page, but you turn it and you get a splash page, I feel like, for the books. Like this would be a great poster.
Oh, the
Commander, Evil Dead style, holding a buzzer by the ponytail with the fucking bloody chainsaw up against his neck.
yeah, Commander's I like he adapts, man. He's scary.
He is,
The
and
the the
I think like
Dreadnoks really bring out the fear in him, you
when we talked about him previously, we've mentioned, and this just continually ups that ante, and is that you didn't ever really have a Cobra Commander like this.
No.
You know,
He is not one to shy away from a fight.
he is not, and
Yeah.
he gives as good as he gets. Um, and I love this, like, just very eloquent solution to the problem. Like, just work for me, and then like the whole thing where he's like, just let the rest of your troops fucking fight these guys, and like you know, like we just basically slimmed the Dreadnought ranks down to who we know, and all the other ones were just fodder. It looks to me that's what it looks like.
Yeah. And that's how Cobra and Dreadnoks became friends.
Yeah. Do 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 do.
Do do.
I love the Dreadnoks attack Yojo page.
Oh yeah,
That
the battle scene where you get Hound shows up finally is
that culminates with sorry Duke. Like, which is then like I like later on as he goes and Clutch goes and tries to explain himself after the melee, and Duke just punches him in the fucking face, like
yeah.
boom, like not even looking at him. Duke's a
It's
little bit of
the
a dick.
That's the Duke we had when we were in the Duke miniseries. He's back.
Yeah,
Seems like fuck, but like his eyes on the prize of like, oh shit, this is happening. I'm gonna deal with that later. We're dealing with Cobra Commander right now.
right, right.
But as soon as like Cobra Commander gets saved by the helicopters, which I love, this was the Viculars. God, I can never
Oh,
pronounce that.
Valkyries, the Valkyries, yeah.
Valkyries, with like a very panel that clearly, when you look at it, you hear the Apocalypse Now call the Valkyries
Yes,
playing.
you were. Oh, dude, you were so correct. Yes.
Like if a page could play music, that's the scene. Like, oh yeah, do 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 do.
Oh, yeah, you are 100% correct.
And yeah, like those were like the Valkyries are kind of recent, like toys, aren't they?
Yeah, they were
It's just
2 years ago, maybe, like
yeah.
for classified. And you know what I noticed last week? A Hound figure went on sale,
Oh
and
yeah,
I think it sold out immediately, and it was an exclusive because then I wasn't. I'm like, oh, that would be kind of cool, and it was sold out. And then I went over to typically like what I've done with all the Combaticons.
hmm,
They sell out. I go to Entertainment Earth, and there you can just get them there.
yeah.
But the Hound apparently was an exclusive, but it didn't come with Clutch, and I'm like, I feel like now would have been the time to do that.
They really need to make one of those like G.I. Joe crossover hounds
Well,
that
so
turns into the Jeep, like like the Dreadnought and then
yeah,
his tank and all that
the
stuff. Because those
Vam.
are kind of fun. Yeah, the Vam.
So the one thing about those, right? Obviously, we have the problem where whenever they do those, the GI Joe figure goes back to being the 3 3/4 O ring.
Which I'm okay with because that's what I collect. Well, not the O-ring, but the 25th anniversary, which I can, sell the O-ring figure for $80, keep the toy for myself, the Transformer, and then I put my little action figure in there.
Right. Well,
I
I don't
cheat.
know if it was an O ring or not. Maybe it's
It's
not
an
an O ring, but
O-ring.
it's
Yeah,
okay.
it's old school O-ring, which they are apparently trying to come back to at Hasbro because it's cheaper and they can sell more of those.
Oh
Um,
man, I'll be avoiding that
Super
shit.
Super Seven's been making them. Like
Super,
they've been
I don't
doing.
like anything they do.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool because they do like off the wall characters in the cartoon that never got made into the O-ring.
They
So if you're
do,
like
and
if you were like an old school O-ring collector, this is for you, like that's what
Yeah.
that's for. Um, I like it. Like I said, I'm the 25th anniversary collector figures because they have more detail. They're like
Yes, agreed.
more
I have some of
detailed
those
than
as well.
O-ring,
Yeah.
and but I don't have the space for a classified. So, and the series is done, so I don't even have to collect any more of them. I just gotta find a few odds and ends, which I'm not even really looking for anymore. But every once in a while, they release, ooh, Soundwave Thunder Machine,
Right, right.
and it's like, ooh, perfect. I don't have a Thunder Machine for my 25th, guys. So two birds, one stone.
Um, yeah, and so but this was all I really liked this reveal, and you just see the when he transforms in the middle of the battle, like the fist, just like there's like two dreadnoks, just like boom, right? Or like he blows up one of the fucking tanks, and then here comes Road Pig, right? Mama gonna give you a spanking, and he just kicks him, and he goes flying like it's a fucking, Woody Woodpecker cartoon or some shit.
And I like that, like Cobra Commander's like, I on the prizes, I gotta get out of here. And then as soon as Hound shows up, he's just like, give me that robot.
Yep, yep. Or like
Forget
it
what I
cuts
told you 5 seconds ago. Give me that robot. I need that robot now.
it when it cuts to the helicopters at Apocalypse Now page, and
Yes.
you see what's his Mercer like. See, see, that's the robot I saw. He's with the Joes. I
What the hell? Do you remember? Does anyone even remember like when Destro took over Cobra like
I know it's like it's just
2 weeks
well
ago? Like, didn't even
that's
matter.
that's going to come back. I guarantee you that's
I'm
definitely going to come
sure it
back.
will, but it was such like a hot minute.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, uh, and I love Cobra Commander flying away, saluting Duke. I thought that was super cool. And Duke's just like, fuck you.
And then yeah, Duke at the end, just like talk robot now,
And,
guns
and so
blazing.
the interesting thing is, I know one of the, like, I thought I've seen the next couple covers, and there's a cover with, like, I believe it's like Duke and Hound, like, yelling at one another or whatever. Um, so I'm assuming that was the next issue, but it's not. The next issue is the one where it's like Roadblock with his gun on top of his food truck. So
Oh yeah,
we
that looks
must,
like it's going to like cut away to
yeah,
the Super
exactly.
Joes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, I'm intrigued to see that hopefully Roblox like I want Hound to stick around with the Joes. I think
Say,
he's a
well, he
perfect
will.
fit.
He,
Yeah.
he totally will. This is going to be the beginning of like, the integration, I think.
Yes. As soon as Duke can handle Hound, he should be able to handle Optimus Prime.
I feel like there's one of the covers because I've looked at the covers for the next couple, like maybe March or something. I feel like
Hmm.
there's an issue coming up where it's like Duke meets Optimus Prime.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to end up happening, obviously. And I don't think they're going to be like, oh, let's be buddies and be one team. But there's going to be
I
some like symbiotic relationship there.
Well, I think what's going to happen, he's going to be kind of cool with it until he sees Thundercracker. Even though Thundercracker isn't Starscream, it is. You know what I mean? Like as soon as Thunder,
Oh,
like, wait a minute,
yeah.
you're the dude that killed my buddy. It's like, no, that
Yep.
was someone else. Like
Oh,
they know. Yeah,
that's really interesting.
there's layers of PTSD, I guess you could call, that Duke's going to go through with this whole thing. Because
Oh,
yeah, he's
wow.
he's he's a little messed up in the head through it all.
Yeah,
Which makes him a fascinating character. It's a great storyline for him because he's
it
too
is.
goddamn fucking Captain America normally.
Yeah, like again, like you said, this is the Duke. Like I like this Duke. I've never cared for Duke
Hmm.
before. I like this one.
Yeah.
So I think we've got a good yeah, and we've got a good stable of Joe's and okay, so we got to go into so the last part. So this will be the last time we ever do this bit, most likely. Okay, and you know what bit I'm going to talk about? It's who is Zartan. So
Oh, play the music. Though, like, and then real quick, hats off, dude. Fucking hats off on your bit for making that Who's Zartan clip. Cracks me up every time I see it.
Oh,
Fucking love it. Like, dude, like the 6 viewers we get do not should really appreciate the hard work you put into this show.
it worked out. It worked out really well. This I don't have very much like need. It's hard for me to work on music. You know, I was a musician for a very long time. But like this show gives me little bits to do, and that one turned out really good.
Yes, it did. So, for the last time, let's us hear the greatest guitar riff in G.I. Joe history.
Well, I mean, we still got Cold Slither, but honestly,
Yeah,
yeah,
well, I think it's
Mine's
better.
better. But
It's better, yes. All right, so here we go, folks. Play it.
we were doubling down on Flag recently. I don't. You said in a text that you think that we did guess Hawk earlier on.
We did guess Hawk in a while, and I think you and me might have guessed Hawk, but oh, by the way, folks, it's Hawk.
It's Hawk. Now, this is interesting because Hawk is the one, as I've mentioned a couple times, I get Hawk and Flag so fucking confused. I always have, right?
Yeah.
Because Hawk originally, in the original line going back to the early 80s, he was more like the Duke character. He came up with the MMS, he had blonde hair, he was in fatigues, right?
Yeah.
And then they changed him. But Hawk is the one that has Night Force, is he not?
Who started was Night Force the one that in like
Beachhead Flint and Lady J, I think.
yes,
Or
that's the second group that he created, the Secret Force.
so here's an interesting thing. We should probably go back and look at what Night Force has been doing and like, is there a secret agenda? Like, have they actually been doing things for Cobra that they don't realize?
Well, I don't think he still works for Cobra yet. He's kind of like he's just in this as a chaos
Oh,
agent. He's
oh,
just all like, I'm fucking shit up.
so now wait a minute. You're right. You are right. But this is interesting. That how in how would so this is going to require some explanation because if the Joes are just forming and he's already been, so at what point did he take over Hawk? So
Yes.
this will require a full reread because I feel like the
I feel like he's
intimation.
been Hawk all along.
Well, so the intimation in I believe the Cobra Commander series was that Zartan was playing a role, and why would the Dreadnoks have had somebody pretend to be Hawk before GI Joe even existed? So
I
that means
think it all boils down to Energon. Like
so maybe
he's getting the inside scoop of what's the deal with this Energon stuff, probably, and then created GI Joe to kind of like get himself some more, probably. I don't know.
okay.
I'm assuming we're gonna find out,
This is I
but
might
yeah,
have to.
there's interesting reason because there's no reason for him not to be, and I bet that's why they made Flag a little more crazier. You know, like Flag in the last issues have been kind of crazy because they knew they were going to reveal Zartan
Yes,
as the
good
thing.
point.
Yeah, so everyone would be like, "No, look, he's acting weird." That's yeah, I bet that's why. Because Flag is not a general. He's kind of a little goofy at times. Not super goofy, but goofy a little. You know,
Oh
there's something
no,
fishy about. Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. But this definitely, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm gonna need to reread everything now because I'm very curious, like where all this, like, going back knowing this might shed light on the origins of the team, different agendas, like what's like I don't know. It might kind of add some answers to questions that we didn't even know we had.
Hmm.
So that's something maybe we can do that and do a special report. I'm sure there's a bunch of people out there that are like, I've already reread the series. Nice, thanks for
Yeah.
doing your homework.
No, no.
But yeah, so Dreadnok War, very successful. Now we stay bi-weekly for at least the next two issues. I looked ahead. I think it's the next two, but
Okay.
it might even be past that, which I thought was kind of interesting. And I like that. It makes me remember, like, I feel like the first book. I remember when Claremont's Uncanny X-Men first did that, where it was like it was the Brood storyline, or somewhere around like 234 or something like that,
Uh-huh.
and then right into the first Genosha storyline. I remember that like bi-weekly thing. I was like, oh wow, like, as a kid, I'm like, oh, gotta do some extra vacuuming or digging or whatever to make some extra allowance because this shit's going, twice a month
Well,
now.
I remember like maybe the idea is like that way because there's a lot to tell in G.I. Joe. Like they're able to crank it out, obviously. I think I said that last
Yes,
time. But
yes,
it harkens back to me like I think of when I think of bi-weekly, I always think of Amazing Spider-Man when it went when it was used to be Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, Friendly
and
Aliens,
Webb.
yeah, and Web of Spider-Man. They had four titles instead of doing one title that sold and three titles that didn't sell. We're just going to put out Spider-Man four times a month and cut out the middle. Everyone would buy Amazing Spider-Man because that's the one everyone was buying. So I kind of think every time I think of like when something goes bi-weekly, I always just think like, yeah, because why make a mini series no one's going to buy when you could just do
Right.
it bi-weekly or
Well, I
monthly
mean,
or yeah.
the interesting thing here is I think people would buy it, but I'm fine with this. And it definitely, like we've talked about repeatedly, you've said over and over again, there's too much G.I. Joe for just this title. So this, I feel like, was a direct, like, acknowledgement of the fact that you were correct. So they're like stepping
Yeah.
it up. And it's interesting. Like, Quintesson War started right after this, and it didn't go bi-weekly, and that in Void Rivals, that first issue, I was like, there's no Quintessons. Like, I mean, I understand it's the first issue, but I was just like, I don't know, it wasn't exactly what I expected. I was like,
I
Quintesson
haven't
War.
I haven't read it, but I thought the same thing. Like I remember looking through it and like I was going to read it and I completely forgot. But I was looking through. I was like, okay, what happens? Where's the quintessence? Is this going to be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I think what like they revealed the robot in the center of the planet, right?
Well, no, that happened previous.
Okay, I'm really off on Void Rivals.
I have to reread it again.
Mhm.
Some of the characters, there's a couple characters now that I've started to confuse, but like the cover of 26, the next one, which is out the 28th of this month. Um, I mean, it's just like a fucking army of Sharkticons, right? I'm gonna buy that no matter what.
Yeah.
I love Sharkticons. There better be some fucking Sharkticons in that book. Like, if I buy that, and it's like, I've said multiple times, I like Void Rivals. It doesn't need to be a Transformers title, but I like the way it kind of does that because it feels a lot like that post 86 movie season,
Mhm.
right? With where it's all this like space stuff or whatnot, and these kind of ancillary characters. But like, if you put Sharkticons on the cover of the comic, I want Sharkticons, motherfucker. Like, you know, I want some fucking Sharkticons. Yeah, that's
The Energon Minute
Drunk on
or
Energon,
Drunk on
Resurrected.
Energon,
Energon,
Resurrected.
yeah.
Woo!
Uh, just drinking with comics. I'm Sean.
Mike.